his pearl necklace shook. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, who is bound with his devotees' love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspects of Narayana in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature as Paramatma. Simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like Nimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I desire than this? Millions of appliances are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind.
O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, please be pleased upon me. I'm drowning in the ocean of sorrow, and I'm almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me. Uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision.
O Lord Damodara, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Alakuvera, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence.
Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer obeisances to your most beloved Radharani and to your your unlimited pastimes. Shri
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी थैंक यू गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधमाधव कुञ्जविहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Canto 6, Chapter 13, Text 3. Indra afflicted by sinful reaction. Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirvitir Hetum Shrotum Ichchami Bho Mune Yenasan Sukhino Deva Harer Dukkham Kuto Bhavat Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirvritir Hetum Shrotumichhami Bho Mune Yenasan Sukhino Deva Harer Dukkham Kuto Bhavat Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirvritir Hetum Shrotum Ichchami Bho Mune Yenasan Sukhino Deva Harer Dukkham Kuto Bhavat Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirvritir Hetum Ichchami Bho Mune Shri Rajo Vacha Nirdasya Nirvitir Hetum Shrotam Ichchami Bho Mune Yenasan Sukhino Deva Harer Kuttam Dukho Bhavat Shri Rajo Vacha Nidasya Hetum Shrotum Ichchami Bho Mune Yenasan Sukhino Deva Harer dukkham kuto bhavat. Ladies, please. Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirviter Hetum Shrotumicchami Bho Mune Yenasam Shrotumicchami Bho Mune Yenasam Sukhino Deva Shri Rajo Vacha Indrasya Nirviter Hetum Chami Bho Mune Yenasam Sukhino Deva Hare Dukkham Kuto Bhavat Shri Raja Uvacha King Parikshit inquired, Indrasya of King Indra, Anivrute of the moroseness, Hetum the reason, Shrotum to hear, Ichhami I wish, Bho O my Lord, Mune O great sage, Shukadeva Goswami, Yena by which Asan were Sukhinaha very happy. Devaha all the demigods. Harehe of Indra. Dukkham moroseness. Kutaha from where? Abhavat was. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Shukadev Goswami, O great sage, what was the reason for Indra's unhappiness? I wish to hear about this. When he killed Vritrasura, all the demigods were extremely happy. Why then was Indra himself unhappy? Did Daita read the summary of the chapter yesterday? Did he read the summary of the chapter? Right. Okay. Purport. This, of course, is a very intelligent question. When a demon is killed, certainly all the demigods are happy. In this case, however, when all the demigods were happy because of Vritrasura's having been killed, Indra was unhappy. Why? It may be suggested that Indra was unhappy because he knew that he had killed a great devotee and Brahmana. Vritrasura outwardly appeared to be a demon, but inwardly he was a great devotee and therefore a great Brahmana. Herein it is clearly indicated that a person who is not at all demoniac, such as Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj, may outwardly be a demon or be born in a family of demons. Therefore, in terms of real culture, one should not be considered a demigod or demon simply according to birth. In his dealings while fighting with Indra, Vritrasura proved himself a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Furthermore, as soon as he finished fighting with Indra and was apparently killed, Vritrasura was transferred to Vaikuntha Loka to become an associate of Sankarsana. Indra knew this, and therefore he was morose at having killed such a demon who was actually a Vaishnava or Brahmana. A Vaishnava is already a Brahmana, although a Brahmana may not be a Vaishnava. The Padma Purana says, Shatkarma Nipuno Vipraha मंत्र तंत्र विशारदः अवैष्णवो गुरु न स्यात् वैष्णवो अवैष्णव guru न स्यात् Vaishnava swapacho guru. One may be a Brahmana in terms of his culture and family and may be expert in Vedic knowledge, mantra, tantra, visharadaha. But if he is not a Vaishnava, he cannot be a guru. This means that an expert Brahmana may not be a Vaishnava, but a Vaishnava is already a Brahmana. A millionaire may very easily possess hundreds and thousands of dollars, but a person with hundreds and thousands of dollars is not necessarily a millionaire. Vritrasura was a perfect Vaishnava, and therefore he was also a Brahmana. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's a new chapter. Vritrasura has been killed. All the demigods, they are happy. All the personalities from the heavenly realms, they showed up. They showered flowers. They beat kettle drums. They were all praising Indra for such a fantastic chivalrous act of killing this very formidable demon called Vritrasura. And there was one person who was not happy. And that one person was Indra himself. And then after this event happened, and they all congratulated Indra, one by one, all the demigods, there are many categories of demigods, it's not just one. There is Indra, and he heads up the 33 million demigods. Then there are what are called Upadevas. They are subordinate demigods. There are the Siddhas, the Charanas, the Vidyadharas. Example. They're all different persons who live in the different realms. They all left, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, but they left without saying anything. Quietly they returned. Now, generally in Vedic culture, if you have come to someone's house or someone's event, it is not appropriate to leave without seeking permission to leave the assembly. So if you're a guest at someone's house, you have a nice meal, wash your hand, and while the the host is putting, let's say, the dishes away or something, you open the door and you walk away. What happened? That's a big no-no. So like that, they didn't even say anything. The word used is swayam. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comments, they just left quietly. And Indra, he is not feeling happy. Although he has done a very amazing task, he's not happy. Does any of us have that experience? That we have done something, everyone says, very nice, very nice. But inside we know that something was lacking, something was not fitting, something was missing. Have that experience ever? We may have an experience of something's amiss, maybe not everyone said, great job. But usually it doesn't come so easily. But whenever it comes, you do feel, oh, they are saying like that, but really I could have done something differently or nicely. For example, someone will come and say, oh, what a wonderful service you have done. And somewhere deep inside, we know, really, I was not even remembering Krishna so well, or I was not so much in the mood of service either. I could have been in a much better place in my consciousness, but something was lacking. But the devotees are pleased, so okay, but I know I could have done it better. Right? Have that feeling? Sure. So Indra also had that feeling, a little different, but similar. In his case, he had killed this demon. And everyone's like, whoa, yay, the showering flowers from the heavenly realms. And he feels it was not proper. Of course, he's carrying out Krishna's will. So, this is the heart of a thoughtful person, that while they are carrying out the will of Krishna, they have their own uh, sensitivity, if you will. So, Indra was not like Krishna wanted Vritrasura to die, and I nicely followed what Krishna's instruction and will was. What a wonderful devotee am I. No problem. That's not the. Although he knows that the soul from Vritrasura's body has gone back to Sankarshana. Wow, I've been able to relieve the soul of this demoniac body and send him back to Sankarshana's abode. That could have been another consideration. But Indra's consideration is not like that. Oh, by my hands, such a situation has happened by which I had to kill this body and relieve the soul out of this body. He didn't say, well, he was not this body anyway. Dehinosmin yatha dehe, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, chop, chop, chop. Very good. No, he's sensitive. He doesn't want to harm. Although his service is such. His service is such that he has to adjust things in the universe. And he has killed a Vaishnav, which is the most egregious sin that can be possible. Very, very massive size of sinful activity of killing a Vaishnava and a Brahmin. So he knows that there is going to be some reaction for it, although it's the providential arrangement. So it is described in the Bhagavad Gita that in this material world there is no activity that inherently does not have some fault in it. Even if we do something perfectly, there's some fault in it. This kind of feeling, in one sense, Yudhishthir Maharaj also felt. In the beginning of the Mahabharata war, when Krishna is speaking the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is also feeling, oh, why should I kill? Why should I kill just for becoming the king of this world? Is it worth it? Is it worth killing my own family members, all the other men that are on the battlefield? Is it worth it? Is it one man's position so much more valuable than an entire group or two groups of armies? Is it worth it? Yudhishthir Maharaj also felt like that. Is it worth it? Just for me to be the king, so many millions of people had to die. Of course, in Kali Yuga, no one thinks like that. In Kali Yuga, we think, for my enjoyment, others can go to hell. I don't care. The more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. But for me, whatever I want must happen. I am the most important. And for me, others have to go through suffering, no problem. Others even have to die, no problem at all. But Yudhishthira Maharaj he was in tears. Such a Kshatriya of that kind of chivalry and strength and valor, crying. Like in American culture, we say, right? Men don't cry. If you cry, you're not a man. Right? Most men, they will not cry. At least they will not show it. They may cry in the privacy of their own, and then they will tell themselves, "You can't cry. You're a man." No, you can't cry. It's, but it's described that Yudhishthira Maharaj was crying. Arjuna was crying. The first chapter, he says, "My tongue has become dry. I'm having tears. I cannot see, I cannot think that I have to kill these persons who I love so much. My worshipable Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, my brothers." Okay, the fellow was a little selfish, but still is my brother. How can I kill them? And Krishna almost it sounds heartless. No, do it. And Prabhupada says the other way. It is actually Arjuna whose compassion was misplaced. Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he's feeling like that, Krishna said, "Let's go to Bhishma Dev." And Bhishma Dev pacifies him. "You have performed your duty." Okay? And the criteria for performing your duty are threefold: Vipra, Dharma, Achyuta, Ashraya. When one takes shelter of these three principles, then although one has done something, and it seemingly has some deleterious effects, Bhishma Dev assures him, "In your case, you're all right. Don't worry. Krishna has appeared to remove the burden on this earth, and you're just the instrument for it. So don't get so morose. Because you've always acted under the guidance of Brahmanas." This is a good principle in life, Vipra, that we don't make especially big decisions. Sometimes we think the decisions are not big, they're small, but they're actually humongous in terms of the effects that they have on our Krishna consciousness. But taking the guidance of Vipras, Vipras means expert Brahmanas, not just Brahmana, expert Brahmana. Vipra, Dharma. Dharma means always stay in the middle of the road in following Vedic principles of religion. It's not like near the periphery or outside. I heard from my spiritual master a beautiful statement that the more you move from the middle of the road and outside the Vedic boundaries, the more you do that, the more you can expect very risky lifestyle. One should expect a bunch of problems and risk, the effects of such risk for moving from the middle of the road. Just like when we drive. If you're in the center of the lane, we're cool. And when we either become negligent or we doze off or something, we see that the vehicle steers from the middle to the edge. And on this side is the median, on that side is the ditch or whatever. And that's why they have rumble strips, to wake us up. So at the boundaries, there are some rumble strips, even in Vedic standards. So better to stay in the middle of the road as much as we can. Now in Kali Yuga, it's difficult because we are born outside the median, outside the yellow line somewhere. And by culture, we're supposed to come to the middle of the road. Sadhana Bhakti is to bring us to the middle of the road. So Vipra, Dharma and Achyuta. And Achyuta is try to do whatever we can to the best of our ability in a way that it is pleasing to Krishna. If we live our lives according to these three principles, according to Bhishma Dev, then we know that somewhere, if Krishna is pleased, that although seemingly it looks like the effects are bad, we're still protected. Ashraya, we're sheltered by these things. So Indra is not an ordinary person, he's a great soul. He knows the internal situation with Vritrasura. Because just few verses ago, there is such a wonderful dialogue. Here is a person is in such a body, and he's saying, "Oh, let me just meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord." And I'm so eager to be the servant of the Vaishnavas. Let my mind, words, and actions be completely absorbed in the qualities of glorification of Krishna. Wow. And Indra had to kill him. So then who is a Brahman? So there are two categories of evaluation of a Brahman. One is one who is born in the family of a Brahmana, and one who's not born in the family of a Brahmin, they're considered non-Brahmanas by birth. Of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I made these categories, and one is not fitting into these categories by birth, rather by qualities and by activities. Guna karma vibhagasha. However, you will see that in most cases, birth is almost a determining factor. Not always the case, in most cases. Like to a very qualified Brahmin, a very qualified Brahmin son or Brahminical daughter is born. In most cases. But just because it is in most cases, we cannot take that as an absolute standard, that always by birth is a person that particular Brahmana or Kshatriya caste. Clear? It happens most cases. We'll see. We've been reading the descendants of Manu. This Manu had this son, this Manu had these many sons, and they all became kings one after the other, one after the other. So in general, the seminal line has a high possibility that one who's born. However, it's not always the case. And we do not use birth as the yardstick. Oh, born in Brahman family, must be a Brahman. Born in Shudra family, must be a Shudra. Not like that. And now that we are in Kali Yuga, there is that class called Brahmana does not exist. This is Prabhupada called that Kali Yuga means it's a headless society. Headless because no direction. No direction. Don't know where going. Strong arms, strong legs, big belly, no head, no direction. Don't know where they're going. Brahmanas are necessary. And so Brahmanas are, the head is for the society is developed by training. Janmanat jayate shudra, samskarat bhavet dvijaha. Samskara means training. By becoming trained, one's quality of goodness evolves. One is able to see things on the basis of scripture. This is Brahmana. Brahman means Shastra Chakshusha or Jnana Chakshusha. Able to see according to scripture. And it's not by birth. There are many examples where someone is born in a non-Brahman family but is a very exalted Brahman or Vaishnav. Examples here is Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Haridas Thakur. In fact, Srila Advaita Acharya, when he was performing the Shraddha, annual death ceremonies of his father, the general tradition is that the mantras are chanted and some bhoga is offered to Vishnu, and that Mahaprasad is given to the Brahmanas first. Only when the Brahmanas eat can anyone else eat. So Advaita Acharya, he took that first plate of Mahaprasad. All the Brahmins were sitting. He went to Haridas Thakur and gave him that plate. Haridas Thakur was outside the house because he doesn't enter where these. And Haridas Thakur said, "What are you doing? I am not only Shudra, I am born in a Muslim family. Like I'm really so far outside the Vedic system. Please give to the Brahmins." And Advaita Acharya said, "There isn't one more qualified than you. This should come to you first. Only when you eat, the other Brahmins become qualified to eat. Because you are such an amazing devotee of the Lord. You're Namacharya. It doesn't matter which family you're born into." So Vaishnava comes first. Therefore, even in Vaishnav community, the proper etiquette is, suppose we have a sannyasi and they are with us, let's say, going to have a meal with us. Generally, unless they start eating, others should not eat. It's just proper etiquette. They are served first, they eat first, and then others will eat. The modern culture is, of course, we serve ourselves, which is really, buffet is very new or odd concept. And you just sit and chomp chomp. Doesn't matter who's in line. Therefore, the example in Leelamrita, Srila Prabhupada is standing in line, and this is ashram. There are some devotees, and Prabhupada is standing with his toothbrush. He's third or fourth in line, and the Prabhus who are like, he's 70 and they're 17, right? And they're standing ahead of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is just quietly standing. In fact, one of the devotees, he cut the line ahead of Prabhupada and went in. "Swamiji, I'm really in a hurry." And Swamiji didn't say anything, just kept quiet. What to say? Or Prabhupada would cook after the program. He would cook for 30, 40 people. He would cut the vegetables, he would cook everything, and he would have kirtan. He would serve out prasadam, and they would sit, let Prabhupada serve them. "Very nice prasadam, Swamiji." They'll throw their paper plates, "Hare Krishna, Swamiji," and walk away. And then Prabhupada would clean the floor, clean all the utensils, clean the kitchen, put everything back. And they were oblivious. Oblivious. Somewhere later, some light went on. Like, oh, hold on a second. This is Srila Prabhupada. This is our spiritual master. So training brings Brahmanical qualities. So in the Padma Purana it says, who is Brahman? Not that some person who can necessarily, recite all the Vedic mantras, rat-tat-tat, just they sound like that too. Like, if you chant, recite nicely. It was very nice. But it says, Shat Karma Vipuno Vipraha. Shat Karma Nipuno. Nipuna means expert. Very, very expert at everything. What are the 6 things? Shat Karma. Pathan, Pathan. Pathan means to study. He is very expert at studying the Vedic literature. Pathan is very good at teaching them. Pathan, Pathan. Yajan, Yajan. Yajana means to perform Vedic yagyas. He is very good at that. He can recite the mantras, say swaha very nicely and all that. Of course, I'm being a little casual here. The Brahmanas should not get upset. They're very powerful. But Yajan, and Yajan means engaging others in Vedic sacrifices. Dana, Pratigraha. Dana means to give in charity, and Pratigraha means to take. Now in Kali Yuga, the so-called Brahmins are expert only in one thing out of the 6, Pratigraha. Just taking. They don't give in charity. Brahmins are supposed to take charity, but they're not supposed to collect for themselves. They're supposed to give. They take from, they're like Vedic Robin Hoods, if you will. The only difference is Robin Hood steals from the rich people, and the Brahmins, they beg or they get donations from the rich people, and then they're supposed to share it, distribute it out. A Brahmin who doesn't give in charity falls from his Brahmanical position. or a Brahman who doesn't teach. It's described that it's like a pot that is filled with something. And if he doesn't know how to teach it, then it's like a leak that all the knowledge goes away. So Brahman is supposed to teach. Patan Patan Yajan Yajan Dana Pratigraha. Says one, Padma Purana says one may be an expert at all these 6 things. But if he is not a Vaishnava, he cannot be a guru. However, a Vaishnava who may be born in a dog eater's family, Vaishnava Shwapacha. Shwa means dog. Pacha means one who eats dog. Can be in a dog eater's family, yet is considered guru because he knows uh, about Krishna. Say Krishna Veta, say Guru Haya. One should know about Krishna, and one can become guru. Otherwise, there's no point in being so learned. So there are many Brahmins like that who are very expert. When Krishna and Balaram they were walking towards Mathura, there were these Brahmanas, very expert. They had a big fire pit. They were reciting all these mantras. They were throwing wood into it, swaha, different grains, and whole categories of Brahmins were sitting there. The 4 different categories. One is like the referee. He's making sure that all the mantras are being chanted properly. One recites from the Rig Veda in a particular way. Another is making sure that the Samaveda style is being recited. All that stuff. 4 expert categories of Brahmins. Krishna and Balaram came with their friends and said, "Oh, you have so much bhoga for the yajna. We were very hungry." And the Brahmanas said, "Go away. Go away from here. You're almost like urchins. All right. Move on." But the Brahmanas' wives, they said, "What? Krishna and Balaram are asking?" They ran with the pots to Krishna and Balaram, and the husbands of the Brahmanas were saying, "Oh, Devis, for this yajna." They said, "What yajna? There's Krishna and Balaram there. Forget your yajna. After all, Yajnapati is Krishna. You're anyway offering it to Krishna or Vishnu without knowing that he is standing in front of you." And when they ran and made these offerings, Krishna and Balaram were very pleased, and Krishna spoke back to the Yajnik Brahmanis. What wonderful personalities you are. And then the Brahmanas came to their senses and they apologized. "Sorry, we didn't recognize you. We thought you were some ordinary cowherd boy." So one who can recognize Krishna, they can be guru. So while we are culturing ourselves to be Brahmins, some of us may already have the thread or the Gayatri mantra, but the idea is to become Brahminical, or Vaishnava, if you will. And the qualification to be a Vaishnava is to recognize what is pleasing to Krishna at every moment. Because Brahmins, sometimes they get caught into rules. And rules are important, don't get me wrong, that, oh, let's just break all the rules because in the name of compassion, we are allowing everyone to do whatever they like. No problem. Some random Prabhu comes and says, "Can I also offer the wonderful devotional?" No problem, please. We are Lord Chaitanya's followers. Get on the altar, do what you like. No. Or some new person comes and we're very enthusiastic to engage them. They want some service. And we say, "Would you like to be in the kitchen for Kishore Kishori?" Sure. Wonderful. Or they may say, "I like to cook." Yeah, go ahead. Doors right open. Narahari Prabhu will take care of him later. Just go right ahead. Cook, no problem. No, there are rules. But service is for everyone. But there are certain things where there is a reason why one is qualified as a Prana. So, the Smarta are those who are so bound by rules that they cannot see the higher picture. This is called Niyama Agraha. Niyama Agraha, just so attached to the rule. So Vaishnavas are those who follow rules properly, but they can understand what the principles are in a way that is in devotional service to Krishna. Sometimes Brahman can be so rule oriented that they forget why this is happening in the first place. So the smartas have some difficulty, like certain persons cannot enter, cannot certain times of the where one is in one's life or in one's month, you cannot enter this. All that is true from a smarta perspective, but Srila Prabhupada looked at a higher principle. In India, there are some persons who, if they had eaten meat in the morning, then that afternoon or the rest of the day, they will not enter a temple. Because I cannot enter the temple, I ate meat. Or if a lady is, as they say, off the altar, they will say, oh, you cannot touch the Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada said, what is more important is to study and know about Krishna. He gave the proper perspective by which one's devotional service is not hindered. Okay, any thoughts? Terence?
Hare Krishna, thank you for class, Prabhu. In the culture of Vaishnav etiquette, you said it's important to come to someone for proper training in order to not only understand
Yes.
what to do and what not to do, but also to get a better understanding of the philosophy. My question, in Western culture, we don't really have a set foundation for how to, what proper rules to follow and proper etiquette for, a lot of things.
Not only Western culture, even the so-called Vedic culture doesn't know what's the proper way anymore.
Okay.
So it's one, as they say, one world. It's that one world. Everyone's like that. There's nothing about Western or Eastern. Everyone's like that now.
So my question in regards to that was someone who's unfamiliar, how or what attitude should they have when trying to approach someone for proper training? And also, you named the qualifications as, someone should be willing to want to understand the philosophy, but what qualifies that person for being someone that's fit for being trained? Because
Qualify, what are the qualifications for being trained?
yes, you has to fit some
Sure.
criteria. Like you wouldn't just take a let's say like a person off the street and try to like train them to be a Vaishnav because they don't have the proper
Rupa
ID card.
Goswami gives one qualification. You know what that is? That a person should be eager to learn. That's all that is required. He says eligibility for devotional service is one's sincerity or eagerness. The more eager we are, the more qualified we are. If you're not eager, we're not qualified. So eagerness. So we are meant to awaken our eagerness. And it comes in the association of those who are eager. It's contagious in that sense. If we are far away from those who are eager, then we don't get it. Just as if you're far from the fire, you get to see the fire, but there's no warmth. You come closer to the fire, there's warmth. Association, power of association. We associate with those who are not eager, we are not eager. We associate with those who are eager, we are eager. Right? It takes only one enthusiastic person and others will feel it. Oh, wow, that's dope. And you need one bad apple and the whole case is rotten. True? It takes one bad apple. Yes. Jaya Baladev.
Sure, Hare Krishna. Thanks for an enlightening class, garnished with comedy always, of course. So you in the beginning of the class, you were mentioning that Indra, although he was being glorified by everyone, he felt some internal dissatisfaction. So my question in this regard is that you mentioned also that sometimes if somebody's glorifying us, we may feel some internal dissatisfaction and we're like, oh, something's missing. But isn't this type of humility good in all circumstances? Because if we think, oh yes, I'm doing everything perfect, then okay, then something bad happens, then you get chastised. So, what are your
Is this kind of humility okay, you're asking?
yeah,
Like the one Indra is
like
feeling?
even if we are quote unquote technically doing everything right, and isn't the mentality that shouldn't we always keep the mentality that there is something missing? Otherwise, if we think that
So let's ask ourselves honestly, is there something missing? Oh, yeah, not just something, there's a lot missing. So we can become inspired by the appreciation of devotees. Oh, they're very kind. They are encouraging me to continue in my service. That's very nice. I know, and definitely more than I, Krishna knows what all is lacking. So I hope to uh, develop a better sense of being in tune or alignment with Krishna. Like we say, there are different ways of saying it. I really wish you knew what was inside my mind. I wish you could hear my mind. You would know. It's just, they're not just expressions of humility. Humility means truth. They're expressions of truth. Yeah, there's so much more that can happen. I may have been very good at developing some things, but there's still so much more room. Yeah.
the question. So you're mentioning for our own happiness, everyone can go to hell. It doesn't matter. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was kind of the opposite. Everyone was suffering, and he kind of felt the effects. So I was going to ask this question anyway before you mention this. Like I remember, like on the first Bhaktivinoda Thakur bhajan that my brother sang 9 years ago, and I never forgot it. Amara Jivan. So in this bhajan, he mentions that I'm remorseful seeing others happy, and the misery of others is a great source of pleasure for me. So in regards to the Vitrasura pastime, can you say that it's that Indra was kind of feeling very sad that even though he was killing Vitrasura, Vitrasura was happy that he was dying, so he was kind of miserable. Like, why are you happy? I'm trying to kill you, but you're still enlightened. Because I could kind of connect that to our own situation. If we're trying to make somebody suffer and they're like happy, it's like you suffer even more. So I'm not sure if that connects properly to this pastime.
No, it does. It doesn't have to be every time that someone has to die, but even at the same principle or similar principle at lower levels, let's say someone wants to debate with us. You can say, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. Let me just not get into debate. Like there was one personality who came to debate with Rupa Goswami. He was, I forget his name, some Narayan, Ram Narayan, no, some Narayan. And he came to Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami was happily in Ter Kadamba writing his books, and he said, I heard you're the topmost of all the Vaishnavas in Braja. I would like to debate with you, and so I can tell others that, I have defeated Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami said, please show me what paper to sign. I will sign that you have defeated me. We don't need to get into a debate. I give up anyway. And he said, what? What's that called in boxing terms where there's not even a duel, it doesn't even, no show or something it's called. Huh? No, knockout when he punches him up. Anyway, he didn't even show up. He said, oh, what? Oh, right, very good. So he took this letter. I defeated Rupa Goswami. And it just so happened that he met Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami said, what? What kind of arrogance are you carrying? Sit here. And he debated with him and in 5 minutes pulverized him. And so the person was like, oh. Rupa Goswami came to know. And he told Jiva Goswami, what? When I said, no need to debate, why did you debate with him? He said, no, I wanted to preserve your glory. He said, no, you're not in the mood of Vraja, you should leave Vrindavan right now. Get out of Vrindavan. And sent him out. And Jiva Goswami, because Rupa is considered as good, walked out of Vrindavan. Imagine being chastised by Rupa Goswami. Leave Vraja. So some time passed, and Sanatan Goswami knew what had happened. So he brought Jiva Goswami with him, holding his hand, to Rupa Goswami's bhajan kutir. Made him stand outside the door and said, just wait here. Walked in. So Rupa Goswami stood up, offered his obeisances to Sanatan Goswami because he's the older brother, and Rupa Goswami always considered him as his guru. And so Sanatan Goswami asked, okay, Rupa, in all of Lord Chaitanya's teachings, what are the two most pivotal principles? And Rupa Goswami said, Namagane Sada Ruchi, like relishing taste in the chanting of the holy name. And he says, Jiva Daya, to show compassion to the Jivas. So Sanatan Goswami said, very good. One Jiva is standing outside the door. Show him your mercy, as you say. And so Jiva Goswami came back. Jiva Daya, Namagane Ruchi, and Vaishnava Seva. These are our pillars. If these pillars are not strong, then we don't have anything standing. Foundation is not strong. We should be compassionate to other living entities. We should chant, at least attempt to chant nicely. And Vaishnava Seva must serve the devotees, must be there. These are the components. Okay. Final point about chanting of the holy name, something that came up. I recently was hearing that His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj, one of his disciples went through a major sickness. And so they were coming out of that sickness. They were so sick and ill that they were not able to chant even their 16 rounds. In fact, they were not able to chant any rounds. And so once their health was becoming better, they had written to Niranjan Maharaj, I'm able to chant so many rounds now. I want to come back to chanting 16. So Niranjan Maharaj replied, take your time, don't rush. There's no rush to come back to 16. But whatever you're chanting, try to chant with feeling, some feelings. So the devotee is like, what feelings? And when we are also told, chant with feelings, and we say, well, I don't have any feeling. So that person said to Niranjan Maharaj, oh, Maharaj, I don't have any feelings. And Maharaj said, well, that is a feeling. You can cry to Krishna that, oh, I don't have any feelings when I'm chanting your holy name. Start there. Some feelings must be there. Either we are grateful or we're feeling dry, our heart is like a barren land, it's all cracked, there is no softness, nothing, no rasa. My dear Krishna, this is my heart and I'm chanting. Please give me your mercy. Then Krishna begins to move our heart. Totally unrelated point, but it was nice. Any other thing? Okay. Krishna Nam. What can we say? Your name is only Krishna Nam Das.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I wanted to ask about the Brahmanas. So we know that every Vaishnava should be a Brahmana, right?
Yes.
But we see practically that many of us don't have Brahminical qualities. Like some of us want to work with hands, like have Shudra qualities. Some want to make money, have Vaishya qualities. So is it this the right understanding that everyone should be a Brahmana in a sense that he should wake up early and take a bath, go to Mangavarti, and during the day be a Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra? Because as far as I know, the I'm not sure about this, that Srila Prabhupada saw that many of the devotees are not satisfied, they're not happy to be brahmanas, because not everyone can stay and learn the whole day and teach. Some of them need to go and do some things. So that's why he wanted to establish Varnashrama Dharma. Do you know something about this?
Yes. And this is our favorite topic. We keep talking about it again and again. Brahmana means Brahma Janati iti Brahman. One who knows Brahman. One who knows spiritual life. So one can be a Vaishnava working, one can be a Vaishnava with a business, one can be a Vaishnava who does carpentry work, if you will, but they're higher than a so-called Brahmin who knows theoretically but no realization of it. So Brahmana just doesn't mean those who wake up early. If you see in ISKCON or Hare Krishna movement of Srila Prabhupada, even those who are Shudras, Shudra-like, if you will, I shouldn't say Shudras. Everyone has to wake up for Mangalarti. Everyone has to sing the prayers. Everyone has to chant Hare Krishna. Their occupational engagements may be different. For Krishna, any of the occupational engagements, especially as our nature is being still developed and revealed, we don't know. Correct? We think we know, but we don't know. So we're trying to find out. So we are in this, what I like to call quasi state. When we are in the shower, are we clean? No, we're not. We are becoming clean. Are we dirty? No, we are becoming. So it's that transitional phase, if you will. So in the transitional phase, we're trying to understand what is our nature. There may be certain things that may be clear. There may be certain areas of interest, which is fine. If we can do it under the guidance of devotees, within the boundaries of religious principles, and in a way it's pleasing to Krishna, we're cool. Vipra dharma achyuta ashraya. Some people may not want to study all the time. For some people, it's not good also to study all the time. It gets to the head. The head is in the clouds, the feet are not on the ground. Always being grounded is important. So little study and head is in the clouds and become arrogant or proud, whatever, or they talk or things and they read things far beyond their realizations and make a complete mess of the whole understanding of Krishna consciousness because somehow, it's either fashionable or interesting or whatever. We can go, but the feet should always be on the ground. You understand? Am I touching something? Hemangi wants to add something.
In a Vaishnava culture or in a Vaishnava community is that a Brahmana means somebody who is simple, like simplicity of the mind. So, so you may have certain propensities, like a Vaishnava propensity or a Kshatriya propensity or a Shudra propensity, but the simplicity is always there because a Vaishnava is very simple. In that sense, Brahminical. Like I was just saying.
Brahmana is not just simplicity, which is one of the qualifications. In the 18th chapter, Krishna gives Samaha, Damaha, Titikshava, tolerant, Arjavam, simple, etc. So those qualities must be there. Occupational engagements may be anything.
No, but sometimes you may even have propensity, like a kshatriya, like somebody who is he may not be like a brahmana, like tolerant, because the is the dharma of the kshatriya to react and to protect. Like their duties command certain kind of qualities. I was thinking more the simplicity of the mind. You can be a kshatriya, you can be a shudra, you can be but mind being simple.
And I said the same thing, that occupations can be this or that, but it's the culture of the mind. Acharya.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to ask on the back of his question that
The sacred thread is generally given to Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, and Brahmins.
That's
So
right.
what's the difference between the sacred thread, having a sacred thread, and being a Brahmin? Is there?
Well, in fact, Dvija means all three. Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas are called Dvijas. Those who are Brahmins are called Dvija Shrestha, the best among the twice born. Right? We hear in Bhagvatam, oh, Dvija Shrestha. That means the Brahmanas. Even Kshatriyas and they, which means that they are qualified to participate in a Vedic yagya. So the Brahmins can do, and the Kshatriyas and Vaishnavas can be yajamanas or sponsors of a Vedic yagya. Shudras cannot. That's what the thread means. It also means that they can go to Gurukula and learn Vedic teachings from the spiritual master. The Brahmin thread is usually given what's called Upanayana. Upanayana ceremony, honestly, the word Upanayana, Nayana means eyes or vision, and Upa means subordinate. So that means a boy who's about 5 years old goes to a Gurukula and lives for the next 20 years under the supervision of a guru and becomes qualified to hear Vedic mantras. That is called Upanayana. And they can be from Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya caste or class. And as they become ready for graduation, the guru is able to perceive over 20 years their propensities and says, you continue studying, you do this, and you become Vaishya. That's the. Of course, in our context, the Brahman thread is given for those who have demonstrated some Shastric knowledge. Therefore, where Bhakti Shastra is necessary. They know the basics of the Bhakti literature. They've demonstrated certain Brahminical qualities and some interests, simplicity in general, what we say, day-to-day exchanges. And they're given Brahman initiative to become more developed from there on. It's not that, oh, they've made it, now they get the thread. It means that, oh, now they're ready to make it from here on. It's initiation, it's the beginning. And so by the chanting of the Gayatri mantra and the Hare Krishna mantra, plus certain kinds of services, which bring forth like a very conscious awareness of, directly in contact with something that is Krishna's. And of course, Prabhupada said whether you fix a screw on the wall or hit a nail on the wall or worship the deity, from Krishna's perspective, it's the same. Yes. But if you're serving the deity, you're touching the deity, you're cooking for the deity, these things are far more aware of, whoa, hold on a second, this is going to be on a plate for Krishna. So it heightens the awareness of being very proximate to Krishna in that sense. No, one can be totally absent. That's a different thing. So it's further training from there on. Wow, long class. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. Of course, we did start at 7:48, so sorry. Hare Krishna.